Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast episode number 279. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Book Insight Friday, but today I'm not delving into a book. Sorry. Today I'm delving into how writing has become my therapy. So, if you're listening to this podcast for the first time, I'm going to give you the brief synopsis of how all of this writing stuff started and where I am now. When I was 13, I started writing poetry. And it was a sing-songy, rhymey stuff. And, I wrote about life and things of that nature. When I got to college, I kind of started delving into a little bit more of it. I've had a love-hate relationship with writing. Some days it's like great, and then I'll go weeks and sometimes months without writing anything, and that's just how it went. Do I have any of the stuff that I've written when I was a kid? No. My mom was not the person who saved stuff, and I wasn't the one who pretty much hoarded all of the writing that I have and things like that. So, like, when you meet, like, poets and like writers and stuff like that, and they pull out things from when they were like 10, and it's like, oh my god, you have that. Yeah, that's not me. But anyway, just to give you a little bit of a laugh for a moment, what I mean by writing becoming my therapy, I write about a lot of thought-provoking things, whether it's experiences I've been through or experiences that other people have been through, or things that really go on in my mind. And I know I have a tendency to, talk about things on my Mondays with Mellow podcast section, where, I talk about things that are on my mind. I write a lot of like thought-provoking things on my Instagram, and it's fun for me to write it out and know that maybe one or two people are going to read it, and it may hit them. It may make them think for a moment. The other aspect of my writing being my therapy is the fact that I am writing about social issues that doesn't get discussed enough. There are a lot of things that, they're talked about, but they're not fully out in the open of why isn't this being discussed more. When I was younger, mental health was just not something that was out and open and in the forefront of our minds. I can remember as a teenager, and even like the majority of my 20s, where mental health wasn't discussed a lot. But here we are in 2023, and the world is just a whole different place. And we talk about mental health way more. And we talk about how to make things better for people. And sadly, the world is built off of negativity. Money is made off of negativity. Violence, drugs, killings, drug addictions, alcohol addictions, porn addictions, all of these things, right? So why aren't we talking about depression and anxiety more? Now we are, right? Just little things that I think about. When I write with a sense of purpose and reason. And I always say that I'm not just writing for now and in the moment, I'm writing for down the road. There's probably one book I would say that I wrote it at the time, and it may not relate to the world down the road. It's called America, a Country Divided. I think that was published in 2018, 19. I don't remember. I'm 50 books in, so don't judge me, okay? What I'm saying is I wrote that at a time of where America was. So maybe it fits into, like, I'm in 2030, like someone's reading that book and thinking, oh, so that was what was going on in the world at that time. Or maybe in like 2050, where there's like some 20 something year old that like finds my book and reads that and goes, oh, so this was what was going on before I was born. I don't know. But that's probably, I think, the only way I can justify that book fitting into like someone reading it and going, oh, so that was what was going on, you know? Because obviously our history books, they're not all the truth. We all know this. Writing has helped me to express myself in ways that I have not been able to for a very, very, very long time. And it's more fulfilling to me now that my writing is being appreciated just by even one or two people. Like the short poetry that I write on Instagram, I have friends that will repost it in their stories, and that's something that I appreciate greatly. I don't take any of that for granted, and I hope that my poetry does motivate or inspire, and most of all, get you to think. That is my goal with everything that I write, for the most part, that I post on social media or kind of put out there to the world. Are there things that I've written that haven't been shared yet? Yes, that's for sure. It's just not the right time for me to put it out there to the world yet. So when the time is right, the time will be right, and it will be posted or published or wherever it is, right? One poem that I have is called Roads, and it's an analogy of how life works and how you're in the driver's seat of your car and you're in control of your destiny and you're in control of getting to the destination that you want. And I've used it in some contests before, and I've recited it to a few people that I deem valuable to me in my life, to where they would think about it and go, okay, I like it, or this is awesome. This is a great analogical poem to use in regards to life. So that is my form of therapy in regards to that. Do I deal with, the mental health struggles from time to time? Of course I do. But overall, where I am in my life, it's taken a lot to get me to a place where I am happy, I am fulfilled. There isn't a lot stressing me. I don't have as much anxiety. This is the healthiest I've been in years from a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual standpoint. I think a lot of times we get caught up in, oh, I feel great physically, but mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, you're broken, you're torn, and you need healing. But anyway, I love what I write a lot of times, and it makes me realize that I have so much more learning to do, so many more experiences to go through, which turns into content, which turns into writing. A lot of stuff I'm willingly able to say, this is free on me, which means this podcast that you listen to, the poems that I post, all that stuff. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Aquarian Mellow. So it's AQUARIANMELO. So you can follow me there, and you can catch all of the videos I do. You catch all of the books that I'm, writing or working on. And there's a lot of poetry that I have posted on there. So I appreciate everyone who takes the time to read those poems, because I take a lot of time to think about how to put the words together in order for it to sound right, for it to make sense, and for, anyone who is reading it to think about what was said. And I do read a lot of other people's poetry on Instagram also, and their stuff is like deeper than what I write. So I appreciate the art of writing. I can truthfully say this is what I was supposed to be doing in my life, what I'm meant to do, and I will always continue to push the envelope in the books that I write, the poetry that I post and publish, and anything else that I choose to do in my life. So my question to you is, what is your therapy? What is it that allows you to fully be yourself without any judgment, without anyone questioning you, who you are? And even if people are questioning you, you just don't give a damn, right? So that is what I've been thinking about for the past few days. I've been looking forward to recording this podcast. So I thank you for listening to this one, because this was a good one for me to talk about. All right, guys, that's my podcast for today. I thank you guys for listening. As always, be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.